evening today. I'm going to actually start this off by turning it over to some of the community leaders from Northeast Queens.
Hi, I'm Graziano. I'm president of the Northeast Flushing Civic Association. In fact, the reason why I'm president of the Northeast Flushing Civic Association is because of Paul, who said you're going to do it. And he did it at a time when the really needed us. We were fighting a builder who was trying to destroy it. And one of the reasons why we support Paul is because this is what is most important to him, is preserving our neighborhoods and making sure that builders don't go ruining good houses and destroy the property. So, and one of the things I like the most about Paul is that he's not really a politician. He's a community activist, and that's what we need in this position. So, very happy.
Joe?
I'm Joe Amoroso. I'm from the Casino Park neighborhood, just south of here. I have mixed emotions about Paul running for city council. I'm happy for the people that live in his district, but I'm not in his district, and that makes me unhappy. I know Paul since he was like in his 20s, many years ago, and he's always done work for all the communities, not just his own. He's well known all over Queens, Belrose, Jamaica, you name it. Everybody knows him because he's not just out for his own community. He's trying to help everybody in all the communities in Queens. And as a city council member, he'd be able to do that, not just for here, but for everyone. And that's why I'd love to see him as the city council member. Thank you.
I don't really have much to say. I was a lifelong resident of Flushing. Nobody does more for this neighborhood than Paul Graziano. He's an amazing activist. You see his face all the time. He's constantly on my block. He wants to know about our concerns, and I'm proud to call him my friend.
My name is Henry Euler. I'm first vice president of the Auburndale Improvement Association. My civic group does not endorse individual candidates, but we as individual leaders in the group would very gladly endorse candidates. I am endorsing Paul Graziano for City Council in the Democratic Party. I know most of the other candidates running, and it's very clear to me that Paul is the one that has done the most for our community. He works on not only zoning issues and landmark issues, but he's also very good on all the other issues that confront our city. Education, transportation, equal rights, all of those issues are very important to Paul. And that's why I'm voting for Paul in the Democratic primary, as well as Tony Avella for borough president. Thank you.
Anybody else would like to say something?
Hi, my name is Graziano. I'm president of the Psychiatric Civic Association. I can say wholeheartedly that we're hand in hand on the front lines in court. Communities are a lot to help preserve what we have in the community. And I myself, a lot of our homeowners, definitely will support Paul.
Civic Association in Black. Paul was very instrumental in getting us rezoned along with Douglaston, very hands-on. He would be perfect to be city councilman. He's not part of the political machine. He doesn't have the name recognition and has the entitlement to become a politician because someone in his family was one, or a former politician. Paul's one of us. He's an activist. He gets his hands dirty. Very rarely do you see him in a suit, and I commended him today for he's one of us, and that's what we want. We want someone to represent us and not their personal agenda. Thanks.
I like John Houlihan, just a longtime friend of Paul's. I'm very proud to call him a friend, and I know that his heart is in this. I mean, 20 years ago, Paul was waking me up out of dead sleeps to go and paint mailboxes and not phone poles, but light poles. Paul really cares about this stuff, and I echo your sentiments. The reason we don't see him in a suit a lot is because Paul gets his hands dirty. Paul gets right in there on the front lines, and he doesn't say it, he does it. And that's, I think, is the difference between Paul and a lot of other people you're going to see out there. He's probably more likely to call you with a problem than you to call him with a problem. So that's what I got to say, buddy. I'm right there with you the whole way.
Anyone else? I just want to say that Warren Schreiber was supposed to be here today, had a family emergency, but he said make sure my name gets mentioned. And Sunny Hahn, who's an activist in Flushing, many of you know her, she was unable to attend as well, but she wanted everybody to know that she's very supportive. I also want to thank members of CAPA for coming, Green Americans for Political Advancement. They've also showed up today, and I appreciate their support of my candidacy, so thank you very much. And I'm just going to say a few words. First of all, a lot of people here, as you see here, this is really a cross-section, not only the people who live here, but the civic world. This is the people who actually work for their neighborhoods. These are the people who are in the front lines. These are the people who are dealing with the problems on an everyday basis. And I've been working with them for, in some cases, helping to create their organizations for actually 20 years now. I really started this in 1993. So basically, what I'd like to say very simply is that I am running for City Council for the 19th Council District. I am running a serious campaign. Obviously, having this kind of support is fabulous. We have raised in less than a month $11,000, all small donations, almost all small donations, almost 10,000 of which will be matching as soon as I have the requisite number of donations from the district, which I'm about 15 short at this point.
No lobbyists.
And yes, no lobbyists, no real estate developers, etc. I'm running a very specific kind of campaign. Everybody here knows what that is. So with that 10,000 that's matching so far, once I make the match, it's 60,000 in matching funds. So I essentially have about $71,000 as soon as I get those extra couple of donations, which should be by the end of the week. My campaign is very simple. Protect your neighborhood. Do no harm. And what that means, very simply, is that, and I've mentioned this to a number of people, it's hard for me to think about theoretical and esoteric problems when we've got problems at hand in the community. Right now we're standing on the edge of Bound Park, about 10 feet inside of the park and on the sidewalk, just for those who know what I'm talking about. This neighborhood around here is the Broadway Flushing neighborhood. I live about 10 blocks to the west. This has been where I grew up. I grew up in this park, I grew up in Broadway Field, went to PS 21, which is now also in the district. This is the kind of neighborhood that I've been working to save for the 20 years I've been doing this. We've, along with the association, put this neighborhood on the National and State Register of Historic Places, 1,330 buildings. We rezoned this area with the most strict zoning, the strictest zoning in New York City, the R1-2A and R2A zonings, which I helped to co-author several years ago, and it's still not enough. It's still not enough. And there are a lot of neighborhoods like this throughout the borough, as well as throughout this district. Right now there's a big fight in Douglaston going on. We had a press conference there last week where a 150-year-old farmhouse is threatened with demolition or severe alteration because an area that should have been landmarked almost 20 years ago with the rest of Douglas Manor has not been landmarked. These are, again, these sound like almost trivial discussions to some people, but this is